Hello and welcome to lesson 1.5 on population ecology. In this lesson, we're going to be focusing on limiting factors and carrying capacity. The notes for this lesson should be on page, I think, 19 of your notebooks. All right, so limiting factors. Let's think about what that means. Limiting means to kind of keep restricted. Factors are really just things. So they're things that keep keep the population size restricted within an ecosystem. Okay, there are biotic and abiotic components of the environment that actually impact one another. So some examples would be predation, water availability, competition for mates, microorganisms, access to food, and many other things. Living things also require certain amounts of some abiotic factors to survive. We need sunlight, shelter, water, oxygen. Okay, we need the correct temperatures. All of these different factors can limit how much a population can grow in number, and therefore we call them limiting factors. So, some example of biotic limiting factors are food, mates, predators, competition with other organisms. Some of our examples of abiotic limiting factors are space, temperature, sunlight, water, altitude. Okay, so again, here's your definition. Write this down. Limiting factors limit how large a population can grow up to the carrying capacity level of the ecosystem. If we don't have enough food, water, mates, whatever, your population won't be able to keep increasing. It's going to kind of level out. Okay. If you only have a small pond, but all of a sudden you've got like 500 deer trying to drink out of this small pond, there's not going to be enough water for them. So, therefore, their population is going to be limited based on that amount of water that's available to them. All right, that leads us directly into carrying capacity. Here's the definition for that one, so write this one down. Carrying capacity, again, capacity, think about what that means. It means maximum, okay, is the maximum population size of a species that can be supported by that specific environment. So those limiting factors lead to that carrying capacity, okay? Populations can't increase indefinitely because of those limiting factors. Like I said, if you only have a small pond trying to support 500 deer, there's not enough. Some of those deer are going to die because they are unable to access that resource. Okay, carrying capacity on a graph, oftentimes it'll show kind of like the line level out. That's our carrying capacity. When we see the population, a lot of times the population starts to look like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, our carrying capacity, we try to draw that line kind of through the center of where our peaks and valleys are on that roller coaster. We're going to practice identifying some things on graphs. Okay, so looking at this graph, what is the carrying capacity for the deer population on this island? Okay, it is going to be 80. Again, we kind of try to draw our line through there. We don't have to be exact. We're going to estimate here. So 80 we would estimate as our carrying capacity. Okay. The population is always going to overshoot the carrying capacity first because we don't know what it is. You're just like, yeah, things are great. Let's keep reproducing. And then you're like, oh my God, we ran out of resources. So things start to die. And then we see that big decrease. Okay. And then it tends to hover right around it. We see that roller coaster effect. All right. So, what day was the carrying capacity for the rabbit population reached? Okay, let's look. So, we want to see about where it levels off. Okay, so we're going to follow that down. That's going to tell us it's August 1st. Okay, so at this point, we're saying that this environment cannot support any more rabbits past, let's see, I'm guessing that's like 65. Okay, and we reached that carrying capacity on August 1st. All right, so you guys are going to come up with some of your own examples for limiting factors. This is on the bottom of your notes on page 19. You should have a picture of an alligator and a plant, it's probably like some grasses. Use the picture on the next slide, so pause when I get to the next slide, and see if you can come up with at least 4 to 5 limiting factors for the alligator, and then 4 to 5 limiting factors for the plant in this ecosystem, okay? Here we go. Go ahead and pause it. Just kind of look around at the pictures, see if that gives you any ideas, any clues, and write them down in your notebook. All right, there are 4 major limiting factors in life. Food. You got to have enough to eat to support the population. Okay? Whether that's humans, animals, plants, you got to eat. Nutrients keep us alive. So without enough food, we die. Water. Same thing. Our bodies cannot function without water. So if we lose water, we lose population sizes. Habitat. We have to have somewhere to live. If we don't have anywhere to live, again, populations are going to start decreasing. Individuals are going to start dying. Okay. Last thing is mating. We need to be able to reproduce to continue to contribute to the population size. If we don't have mates, we can't increase the population size. And then we're kind of screwed. Okay. No pun intended. So there's that. Write those things down. And that concludes our lesson today on population ecology. Go ahead and head back to Canvas, start working on your assignments for 1.5, and don't forget to take that mastery test, and we'll see you next time.